All right. Okay.
Hey,
Explain that. Explain that. That's good stuff.
it's a beaver.
Okay. So, yeah, what I love is that stemmed from one of these conversations.
I
Uh,
got I got a bag of up there too.
yeah. Yeah. What was it you said? Um, was that a T-shirt that you sent that one time? And we sent it to Kathy. No, it was a mug. It might have been that mug.
No, to Kathy. I don't know if I sent anything to Kathy, did
I
I?
think you sent it to me, and then I parlayed it into a group chat with
Yeah.
Kathy because naturally she's the one that.
Well, this was my Christmas white elephant in the
That's
neighborhood.
what it was. I
With,
could
yeah,
go back
yeah,
and look it up, but yeah.
yeah.
So good
Hey
stuff.
Ben.
Pretty good. Really,
Yeah.
just fine. Special one coming up tonight. Um, yeah, Keith was man the same old Keith, like the same smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got him to open up about Peter's book and open up for as much as Keith opens up, but I feel like yeah, it was good stuff to
No, I thought it was a great conversation. I
really
really
was.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
He's
it
funny
was
too because he plays things so, close to the vest, like he always did, but he's told me on a few occasions by text that he appreciates what we're doing and is interested in a staff reunion if that can happen, which you shot that out there.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let's let's talk about that for a minute. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
put Jimmy and Beth on the spot here, right?
Yes. On the
Let's make
spot.
this happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, do
On the
your
real spot,
magic.
like all caps.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
they're on it. We had a long
Okay,
conversation, and Beth is working with someone who's in operations at camp, and
okay.
I kind of told her like, look, yeah, that's a great way to do it. To whatever extent I can then, if there's any questions, lean into it. To I will do it. And because it would. Like, I think the last text said that it was looking more like postseason. Maybe you said that. Like
That's fine.
it would
That's
work. Yeah,
fine.
like a long weekend. That'd be great. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
how are you,
We can
man?
make that happen.
All good?
It's good. It's very, very busy.
That was a lowercase good, man. I
Yeah,
know
just
you. That you a
I
little
mean,
pause and it was like lowercase God. You're always good, man. You're
things
floor
are
is high. Yeah,
things are good. It's just starting the year at work has been really busy. So
you're understating everything. I know you are. So hang in
if
there, man.
if IBM would just sign the contract, we'd be all set.
Man,
Just
that sounds like a huge all or nothing proposition. If
it's just
IBM, it's
it's
not
just
like, hey, if Joe's hardware store would sign the contract, like you're saying IBM, like okay,
yeah, it's just
yeah,
we've been working on it for months and it's just,
okay.
that's fine. We're escalating it. It'll be
Our
taken care of.
startup, our startup a few years ago, man. It was 2018, and we got a contract real quick with the Saints.
Yeah.
Panthers, but the Eagles, we wanted the Eagles really bad, and they had just won the Super Bowl. I had good friends there. They were all over what we wanted to do. Verbally, they gave us everything, but when it came down to a contract, they were like, "Well, you got to talk to legal about that." And we're like, "Oh, legal, Canadian
Yep.
company," and they were like, "Sure, send us a contract." And sure enough, it came back redlined and someday I'll understand why that didn't happen. I think I have a few ideas because if it did, things changed and it would have been harder to manage. But I don't know if this would be happening, and this means a lot to me. And so many things, conversations I have with folks
Yeah.
happen. They wouldn't have happened without us doing what we're doing here. So, which anyway, that's a tangent I won't take too far.
What else is going on?
um, I came back from rushed back from Claire and Connor's house. You know them, my daughter
Yeah,
and her husband from the
yeah,
wedding. Heard some Steely Dan on the way back. I'm like, that's appropriate.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Um, Black Friday. They're ridiculously good. And
Yes,
yeah, but I really just excited to the fact that we're going to talk to Jim and Carol Rumsey. Like, wow. Like, I've got some notes, but
that's amazing. He,
it's going to be special.
they're already in the waiting room.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you
I don't,
tell
well, yeah, I don't really
them.
have anything left. I only had one real agenda item for
Okay.
you, and maybe we'll take care of it on our next one, but
Give me a
tell
hint.
me tell me about book number two.
Oh my gosh, Tom.
What's our status?
Aha. I've been excited but frustrated at certain because when we talked to Peter Young
Yeah,
and he said by default, and Tom, you're an excellent writer and you understand when you're writing something, if you get caught up in something or where you think it's gonna keep going and it stops, like your mind just, you don't want to let perfection be the enemy of the good, but at the same time
sure.
you want to keep writing. But especially when this next book is composed of so many other people's stories, not my own, that I want to make sure I appreciate them lending the story, so I want to make sure I get it right for them and not misinterpret anything. Um, but today, so Peter said, write what you know. Like when in doubt, just write what you know, and
Yeah.
and you can't go wrong with that. But I still get hung up on what other people said. But I had an amazing development this week for the next book. It's a story I wasn't sure. I knew I wanted to write, but I didn't know what kind of buy-in I would get. Um, but it was about somehow overlooked in the first one was about the speakers at camp.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
and I put together some correspondence and the buy-in I got from speakers that most anyone watching will be very familiar with
Yeah.
was enthusiastic, and I cannot wait to I asked them 9 specific questions and then open ended, and all of them were ones that were there when my dad was there, even when my grandfather was there. And
Oh, wow.
I don't want to say too much because I haven't gotten it back from them yet, but
Yeah.
if based on their responses, I get back what I think, and I know how this works when you get something thrown at you, it triggers memories. Um, that's on top of all, so much else that I already have. So I appreciate you asking that because I have been careful to not promote it yet. But as we're doing this conversation, um, I still feel like um, it could come out by early June, late May. But I got a lot of work to do. But the developments of the past week with getting this buy-in from speakers and some other surprises. So with Jim and Carol tonight, I'm going to pose a couple of things. I'm going to kind of break some rules because I,
We have rules.
yeah, kind of. Let's call them guidelines or whatever, like air hockey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna delve into ask them a couple questions that what I really want from them in depth is for the book, but at a surface level, I'll ask them tonight for kind of a teaser, but also to I can't wait to hear what they're gonna say and for everyone else to hear. So yeah, thanks for asking, man.
Well, could we maybe expect whoever we meet with next in the opening segment, maybe we could get a teaser of like a really short excerpt you could read.
Sure. Okay. I think I could do that. Yeah, I think
Okay.
that would be nice. And by the way, I know you have famously refrained that you're mentioned in the first book 63 times.
I might
Um,
have mentioned it. Might have said
Um,
something.
yeah, I don't know about numbers. There's quality and quantity. The quantity could be there, but the quality is going to be even better because one of the things that happened after the book was released and we did this, which we were talking about doing
Yeah,
while that book was being written, has come to fruition, and there'll be a lot of references to things that we heard here, and
that's cool.
specifically about things that you have brought up, and also things that have gone on, just beyond it. So anyway,
Yeah, it's just been some great conversations. I'm sure
yeah.
provided content for your book, which is
Well,
awesome.
yeah, and there's things you sent me in the summer of 2024 that I shelved, and there's difference between shelving and tossing. I shelved it because I knew I wanted to have it
Okay.
eventually. It's going to come out in this next book, so I have to ask you a few more
Okay.
questions. So yeah, yeah. Thanks for asking.
Should we
Yeah, here we
welcome
go.
our guests,
Here we
right? Let's
go. Yeah. Did you get the pictures I sent too?
I did. We
All
should be
right. All right.
ready. We should be ready.
Okay.
All right.
There it is.
On their way in, still on mute,
I can picture. I can picture
waiting
it.
for the camera. I mean, they actually beat you to get to the call, Don.
Did they
So,
really? Oh, I felt
yeah, so
terrible.
maybe they went and got coffee. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey,
All
There you go.
right.
Is this a bad background or should we go somewhere else?
A bad
uh,
background. I
that
mean,
is
it tells the story,
fantastic.
though. Did you tackle that bear yourself, or
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a great background?
Okay.
yeah.
You got the bear?
You got the bear?
Is there a
We got,
story behind the bear?
yeah.
A little bit. You want to hear it?
Let's jump right into it. Sure.
Yeah, good
Well,
way
we
to
got a lot of other
start.
stories, but I brought it up because you can see it
Well,
right there. So,
I don't know where the bear's from,
all
but
right.
I love garage sales. I
Okay.
was at a garage sale in Stamford, Connecticut,
All
and
right.
Okay.
it was this junky garage sale on the hillside of a house. And I was just about to walk away, and I turned my head, and there on the ground was laying this bear.
The
And I
bear
think I got it
skin.
for $125.
All right. The bear skin.
Wow.
It's not like you killed it and then, yeah, then I'll take it. All right.
That's so cool.
Hey,
Yeah.
Tom. Uh,
How are the Rumseys tonight?
Good.
Good, good.
Where are we talking to you from?
Well, we're in Speculator, New York.
You ever heard of that,
At our
Tom?
home.
I've been there. I've been there.
Yeah, I
Okay.
bet you have.
Speaking of that, that's a good segue to. So Tom, you were there 86 to 88, and
Mhm.
Jim and Carol were there. Like, is there any connection that you have at before we get into it? Like, yeah,
Well, I don't know what years you were working there, Jim, but I did meet you and we had a great conversation about the time you spent working on the Popeye movie.
Yeah, that was
So you
1980.
okay,
Yep.
so you laid out your role. You're a physician, is that correct?
I'm a physical therapist.
Okay, physical. You were like the on-set physical therapist then for that movie
Yep.
and had conversations. You told me all about conversations you had with Robin Williams,
Oh
and
yeah.
just you loved that experience. And it was a very memorable conversation, obviously, because here we
Yep.
are 40 years later talking about it.
Yeah. Because
45 years ago, yeah.
yeah, 46 years ago, right? We've been back to the set twice. It's still there.
The set is still up after 45 years, and it's an amusement park and tourist attraction
Where? Where is
in
that?
Malta.
In Malta. It's an island country south of Sicily.
Okay,
Yep.
that's amazing.
Yep.
I have to admit, I have heard many times about Jim how you were involved in that, but I know hardly any details about it. Like, since Tom you brought it up, like maybe you could share like how all that happened, and then before we get into a whole bunch of camp stuff.
Well, we have 200 slides if you ever want to see them.
Oh, okay then.
Slides. We're talking
All right.
slides.
Right.
Well, there are ways these days of converting them into something that we
I
can.
know.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny because it does tie into camp because yeah, in 1979 we got married, and just felt the Lord wanted me to leave my job, and so I resigned on November 1st, and then during the next 2 weeks got a bunch of job offers, and but I had to stay until January 1st. So anyway, the movie director Robert Altman was the patient at the office where I was working in New York City. So
Okay.
yep. So anyway, so he came and he said, "Hey, I'm making this movie overseas, and I need a physical therapist, athletic trainer. You got any friends out of work?" So I said, "Well, funny you should say that." I said, I'm as of January 1st, I'm gonna be out of work. I'm gonna thinking about going back to grad school in the spring." And he says, "Well, if you'll delay that, I'll
Okay.
take you overseas." So the deal was that, yeah, I actually came home from talking to Bob, and said to Carol, "Hey, Carol, they're making a movie called Popeye on the island, on the island at Word of Life. Do you think we should do it?"
Say the story.
Because it better be a good movie. Then I told her, I said it's actually in Malta, which is in the Mediterranean.
We had never even heard of Malta.
Yeah. So the only maps of the Middle East we had were in the back of our Bibles. So you look it up, and sure enough, St. Paul was
St.
shipwrecked.
Paul was shipwrecked there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So in
Acts 26 and 27.
27, 28. Yeah.
holy
So
cow.
anyway, so long story short, Bob said, "Well, I'm making this movie. You want to come?" I said, "Bob, I'm married now," because I got married in May and this was in November.
Of
And he's,
January.
yeah. So he said, "Well, if I like, what does she do?" I said, "She's a graphic artist." He says, "If I like her, I'll put her to work." So that's what happened. So we met with him on Thursday that week, and sure enough, he liked Carol very much.
How could you not?
Yeah,
Aw.
but the deal, Donnie, was this: that I said to Carol, I said, this would be a great opportunity. We're going to go over there for just 3 months. It was supposed to be 3 months, ended up being 5.5. I said, "What do you say we go work at camp afterwards?" So we said, "Sure." So we called up Camp of the Woods, talked to your dad and your grandfather. And Gordon says, "We'll come up at Thanksgiving. We'll talk about it." And that's when he offered me the job to be rec director. And I was rec director 80, 81, end of 82, personnel in 83. And then we volunteered the last couple of weeks of the summer when the college kids left
Okay.
from 84 until 90. So
Wow.
that's how we stayed
Okay.
active at camp.
So you were like basically second shift.
Second shift at Camp of the Woods, right? All the college
Okay.
kids are gone, and they needed someone that knew how to, wash dishes or do this. I actually stayed out on Tapawingo a couple of years just because they wanted staff people out there so the local people wouldn't go out and make a mess of the place.
Sure.
You stayed out there a couple of years. You probably got a beard down to here, like
Yeah. There you go.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Wow.
So that was,
Okay.
Well, before we move on, Tom, and I know you've got a lot to get to, but like the movie experience, like I don't know too many folks that have ever been involved in a movie. There was actually a Hallmark movie made out here in Buffalo this year, and
You hear them?
it's kind of embarrassing actually because the Hallmark movies, right? The Christmas movies, and it's all the same, some
I know.
yeah, good looking.
I don't watch it, but I know they're all the same.
Yeah, good looking lady or good looking guy comes back to their hometown, and there's someone there that they used to date in high school, and they're trying to make this Christmas festival happen, and somehow the one helps the other, and shock, they get together. It's really cheesy, but this one made in Buffalo, in East Aurora, was even more over the top. It was about the Bills, and I had some friends that were in the movie, and I watched them, and it was like they were not even like, "Who are you?" Like you're talking in a totally different way than you do normally. But it made me realize, like in a movie is such a big deal. Like, what do you remember about any of that. And I guess another basic question is, why would they thought they would need a physical therapist on a movie set? Like what is like, oh, if this happens, we would need like what?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
first of all, Robert Altman.
Yeah, Robert Altman, the movie director, he had a bad
Bad
back.
back.
Oh, okay.
And a
Okay.
couple years before that, he came out of the jungles in Argentina, or I think it was Argentina, on a backboard, 9 hours on a Jeep on a backboard, because his back went into spasm.
Okay.
And he said, "I'm never doing that again." So he said, I want someone overseas knows how to take care of a bad back.
Okay.
And of course, I knew how to take care of a bad back.
But Jim was there also for some of the actors and actresses in
Yeah.
case they got hurt.
Yep.
And he would
Sure.
stretch people, and he actually put on Robin Williams' arms and legs every day under his clothing.
Yep.
He
So-
did. I'll
Yep.
send you a picture.
You mean the
Carol,
Popeye muscles?
send you a
Yeah.
picture. But so Robert,
We were very young back there, 27 and 28.
29.
29. Okay.
29.
28.
Yeah, but anyway, but Robert Altman, he really, unlike many directors and stuff, he treated people like family.
Okay.
And for him to have a physical therapist, athletic trainer on site to take care of the bumps and the bruises and the dancing skits and all the different things they're doing, he really wanted that because there was going to be more stunts and more activity. So Bob was looking out for the rest of the crew. So I was basically just a fringe benefit to the rest of the crew. Nothing more, nothing less. Carol got a lot of press because her artwork appeared in the movie.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Other than Robin's arms, nothing I did appeared in the movie. And that was the way it was intended. They didn't want to see a first aid or anything like that in the movie. They
Wow.
wanted it to be a comical movie.
So going into the movie, I like having Carol's artwork was kind of a bonus because it doesn't sound like it was part of the reason you went there. But I have been going through Tom before you came on. Asked me about a second book, and it's in the works, and it's leaning on a lot of so many staffers that have been there and their stories, and Jim Olson and Beth Markell sent me staff directories that they had dating back to 70. I think I have 77 through 89 minus 87. And Beth, if you're watching, I still need 87 if you could find it. But the top page of the staff directory they're all artwork by Carol, and they're all different every year. And
The covers. The covers?
The covers,
yeah, they're outstanding. And then I know you did them also for the like the music concerts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're and Tom is quite the artist. If you look behind him with the bowls that he does with Tracy, you all have some common talents there that I envy.
Yep.
All right, I'm looking at the credits from the Popeye movie. and
Jim's in
here-
it, but not me. Jim's way at the end.
Okay.
Physical therapist.
What are you looking at?
Credits.
Other credits.
Jim's in it,
physical
but not
therapist
me.
James A.
Physical therapy.
Rumsey,
Yeah, that was me.
RPT.
It was a wonderful experience for us. We really stood out as Christians on a non-Christian set.
I'm sure.
Are you there?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Because a lot of them were, drinking, drugs.
Yeah.
There's some bad times.
Yeah.
Yep.
We learned afterwards that it was a lot of cocaine going on. We didn't even know it, but
wow.
oblivious to it.
Yeah, we were kind of aware there was. It
But
was
the
a di-
Lord used us.
yeah, it was a
in the
different
set.
lifestyle.
They all should have gotten work crews.
What's that?
They all should have gotten work crews.
Yeah, right. Right.
Amazing.
Yeah. but
That's super interesting.
yeah.
And then there's a scene, we don't look like it anymore, but we're actually extras in the fight scene. We're in the crowd.
Oh,
And my parents came over to visit while we were there, and they got in it too.
All right. Yeah.
So
That was fun.
we need to try and find that.
I could picture Jim going to Robin Williams. I know those muscles aren't real. I made them.
well, yeah, and Robert Altman treated us all like family. So there's no stars on anyone's doors, and we were in dressing rooms and we were in clusters, and in my locker room cluster was Robin Williams, myself, and Michael Christensen, the founder of the Big Apple Circus.
Oh, wow.
And so anyway, Bob did that because he knew I was never going to be there. I didn't have a costume, nothing to put on. So he just gave Robin a little more room. And he did the same thing with Paul Dooley, and he did the same thing with Smith. Yeah, Paul Smith, who played Bluto. Yeah, so the people in his locker were just tiny people who weren't going to be there all the time. So it just made it convenient. Yep.
That's amazing.
So,
But it was an amazing experience.
yes, it was. Yep.
Well, that's what I remember from probably the first time I met you, Jim. So,
what do you know? Small
So
world.
I know Tom's going to pivot to something here, but before that, you talked about how the two of you at that point were Christians being there on the even though it was in Malta, it's still Hollywood set. And we all know like Hollywood is it's far from it. It's a different kind of world.
Yeah.
And Jim, you and I have had some conversations in the past couple years, wonderful couple of years. And one of the funny stories you told me is kind of how you looked back then. And you told me a story about how much you resembled. So Phil Jackson is
Back in
famous,
the day.
known as most people our age would probably know him more as the coach of the Bulls and the Lakers, but he was also a player on the Knicks in the late 70s where you were working. But you told me that you resembled him so much that people actually mistook for you or you for him. Even people close to the team, like, hey, I'd love to hear you share that.
Yeah, well, when you're passing people on the street in New York City, you got a coat on, and you got a duffel bag or something, and they do a double quick because remember he's 4 inches taller than I am, but
Well,
we
you're
had
still
the same
tall though.
glasses, we had the same dark hair, cut the same way.
But he was what? If he was 6'9" and you were 6'5", you're still both tall guys, so the height is similar, right?
But I think the biggest thing was one day, just coming out of the subway, right next to Madison Square Garden, Walt Frazier went by, and he beeped and waved, and I knew for a fact who he thought it was.
That's one of his teammates. Yeah.
I know. I mean, they were teammates, but he's 40. He's 30 yards away. He's in the car and
that's
on the
funny.
sidewalk.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So
that was just one time.
Yeah, but still, like that's enough that he. So were you married yet, or what year were you married?
Well, we got married in '79.
Okay, so it's right around. Maybe you weren't. Yeah, it was close to that. But so you look like kind of I don't know. I dare say, Jim, like kind of a hippie guy, right?
Yeah, I had a full beard and all that stuff. Yeah,
Goatee.
Yeah.
Yep, goatee and stuff like that. It varied from time to time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, well, we met at Camp of the Woods, so there's a story there. We met in '69.
Yeah. Okay.
And, 10 years later, we're married.
That's another whole book.
No, don't go there.
So we're gonna.
No, it is though. It's funny you say that, Carol, because
I could write a book.
well, I when I texted you, we've been in contact here about doing this, and before you came on, Tom and I were talking about the next book, and this is kind of on a parallel path where I've been careful to kind of withhold content on this that I'm sharing for the book, but there one of the things I'm hoping maybe that we could do a short version here and a long version for the book, and it's going to be this, and then I have it written down, Jim. I'll ask you about this again, about the staff guest game you told me about that with Ed Oliva and everything. If I could get your short versions here and get the long versions for the book, I feel like that would be a good play. So
Okay.
so yeah, Carol, tell us like how you met. Yeah, or Yeah, go
Let
ahead,
me
Tom.
ask just a couple of questions. So, have you guys watched any of our interviews yet?
We saw Beth Markel on,
Yeah.
right?
And Jimmy.
Okay.
And Jimmy Olsen. So,
Okay.
blogs are kind of a new thing for a bunch of old people like us.
We're technologically challenged.
And I've never been blogged before. Am I being blogged now? What is the expression?
Are
You-
people watching us right now?
It's
Not-
not live.
not
This will
live.
come out
Ah.
next week in two parts. I can already tell it's
Yeah.
for at least two parts.
Yeah.
And we will put it out there. So yeah, Tom, go ahead.
So,
So we're
learn all about this now. Thank you.
we're going to interview you with some questions, and this segment's called On the Spot, and
Okay.
it's basically we joke, but it's basically about keeping Don's mom happy.
Uh-huh.
With these
I
questions.
saw your mom today.
Did you?
We were at the Nathan Latour
Health Center.
Clinic,
Uh-oh.
Health Center.
Oh, no.
Why?
I don't know why she was there.
Oh.
She was in the waiting room. Maybe I shouldn't have said it.
Yeah, they're
Uh-oh.
hypnotized, but I feel like she would have told me. Why were you there?
Uh-oh. Maybe I shouldn't have said
You
that.
better edit this out, Donnie. Edit this out, right?
Full disclosure.
Tom, cut it, right?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
That's
yeah,
okay.
we'll edit that out. I
Yeah.
think I deleted the
So,
question.
I just want to tell you I saw her.
So instructions,
No worries.
10 questions, okay?
10 questions. Let me get them on here. Just give me 1 second because I think I deleted that slide today somehow. We're good.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
I don't know.
I'm going to do
Did
this.
she,
and
while
they'll
you're
magically
pulling it up,
show.
Carol, did you mention to her that you were going to be on with us tonight, or?
No.
Okay.
So I'm just going to flash these questions up here. If you want to just take a quick look.
Sorry if I said that.
No, there's no problems with it. No, it makes
Okay.
for great.
These are the types of questions that we're
Audio.
going to ask you just to kind of get kind of a full picture of your time at camp and what it's meant in your life. But I'm going to take these down so we can see you better for the
Okay, we
questions.
can see him. Yep.
Well, I want to see you. I want to see
Oh,
you
okay.
better.
Yeah,
You
and
see
you only
us?
have to answer. You have to answer 3 or more. Is the
Well,
there's 10 there. Whatever.
I
3
think-
plus. Yeah.
Joanne wants you to answer all of them, by the way. But let's do ladies first. And Carol, what's your connection? How did you get to Camp of the Woods the first time? Like, what's your connection?
Okay, so my mom and my dad and my 3 brothers and I, we went when we were kids. They brought us there.
You were campers. How did your family connect to camp? Like, what's the genesis here?
My mom actually went up to camp with a bunch of single ladies, one of them being
Okay.
Marion Usland. No, Marion, no,
Right. The mother.
yeah. Randy Usland's mother
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
and Doris Nelson
Okay.
Who's still alive.
with a whole bunch of other ladies.
Okay.
I
This
think
was-
they were looking for guys, but I'm not sure.
Was this
But they
a
didn't find him.
church
My
thing?
mom didn't find him there.
Was this a church thing?
They were just friends from all over New Jersey, Brooklyn, all over the place.
Okay.
And
That's what
the first time my dad went, I think this is a great story. He didn't want to go to Camp of the Woods because he heard it was a religious camp. And he was religious, but not a born again Christian yet. And
Okay.
he thought everybody was going to just sit around in rockers reading the Bible all day. So he didn't want to go to this Camp of the Woods place. And when he went, he saw how wonderful it was. And every year since then, we had been back
Wow.
Okay. As a family.
as a family. Yeah.
And
And what-
I don't know if I missed this, but where were you living?
In Closter, New Jersey,
Okay.
Bergen County.
Yeah,
Oregon County. Okay.
Yep.
that's great.
Jim, how about you? How'd you get there?
Okay, so we live down in the valley in Johnstown, New York, or
Okay.
over New Hartford, Utica. And as a 4-year-old, we spent the entire summer in the Adirondacks living in a tent. And my dad was a salesman and would commute to the different places where he had to sell and had to work.
Okay.
So, but Friday night he'd come in, and then Sunday night he'd leave. So we got to spend the entire summer up in camp in the Adirondacks. So we were at Pasico Lake, and someone posted a sign, and it said, "Come to a free concert," and it showed the band and the choir standing there in suit coats and long dresses. And my father, who loved music at that time, was not a believer. He said, "Hey, anyone that can get 30 college and high school kids to stand still, look that good, got to have good music." So he started going to the concerts, and then ended up going to Sunday services. And that was how the Rumsey started going there. And then I went to basketball clinic where I heard about the gospel for the first time in 1966. So I went home from one day, not back to Johnstown, but to the, at that point we had a little trailer that we had up in the mountains. And I went there, and someone got sick at camp. And John Beckta, who was the personnel director, asked my sister, who was on staff and the music staff already. He said, "Hey, is your brother around? We need another person." And so sure enough, I was home for one day and came back to camp as an employee. And wouldn't you know it, but Donnie Hammond, Jimmy's big brother, was my roommate.
Wow.
How about that?
This is rich. There is so much in both of you.
So rich.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
66, and then 67, 68, 69. 67, 68, 69, I was a lifeguard. Yep. And when Don's mom used to come to the beach, I don't know if this story ever got out there.
I've heard the story once, but I need to hear it again, and especially share it here. Yeah.
Yeah. So the deal was that little Donnie here, big boy now, Donnie. Little Donnie. Yeah. When they came to the beach, Joanne would go to the lifeguards and say, "We're here." And the reason is because little Don never walked. He just ran everywhere.
Yeah.
So he would run right off the dock, right into the water, or he'd run into water full speed. And then when he got so deep, he couldn't run anymore. He'd just fall. And there wasn't someone there behind him to pick him up. So the lifeguards had a rule. If you saw something moving, you didn't have to look and identify it or anything. If it was moving, your job was to get off the lifeguard stand and get going, follow that person. And that was the rule of thumb.
So basically she showed up and said, "Red alert."
Yeah, right.
And everybody was on edge.
I am feeling like I watched way too many Bugs Bunny cartoons where they run off a cliff and they are somehow suspended, and then they realize, and then somehow they still have the ability to turn around and get back to the cliff. And I thought that's what would happen. I didn't realize that you would just go down. Well, thanks, Jim. I'm sure you.
You ran so fast that your mom would just give us, instead of the red alert, it would be the Donnie alert. And we knew it. And we also looked, because we had a dock. There was a dock in the front of camp back in those days.
Yeah.
Off to the left side over where the office was. And then now it's Mesa. But over there, and so we had to watch the dock, because sure enough, if little Donnie got on that dock and Joanne wasn't in front of him, he'd take off running. And we had to go.
That's great.
They just knew. It was just a known rule. You don't look and try to find out who it is. You just move.
Two things here, Donna. I'm realizing this is not fair that everybody gets to come on and talk about you as a kid. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it, but it's entertaining for sure.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I learned a lot. And actually that dock was still there, Tom, when we were on boats. It was the front dock that we pulled from. So that was 87, 88. I don't know when after that it wasn't there. But I could picture, Jim, the way you just painted it. I can picture myself doing that. And but I also know you were very athletic and you could have covered a lot of ground very quickly to be there. So
it was my job, Don.
Special assignment even.
Had you drowned, I'd be gone.
Speaking of that, I don't mean to take a dark turn here, but my parents have told me many times that when you were on staff, there was an incident where somebody did go in the water and you had to try to
Yeah.
save them. And what do you recall about that? It's tough.
Yeah. You'll never forget it. It was the summer of '68. This gentleman and his son, 55-year-old man and an adult son, went out in a canoe, and it was after hours. I was actually already working. I was on the Tapawingo as security at the end of the summer.
Hmm.
It was late in the summer, and you know what the waves are like in August.
Hmm.
They get rolling and stuff. Well, apparently this guy wasn't good in the boat. Went and turned and flipped the canoe, and he didn't have a life jacket on, and went down. Must have got a mouthful of water, and he pushed his son toward the canoe, and the son hung onto the canoe. And your uncle, Donnie,
Rich.
Rich Purdy,
Yeah.
heard someone yelling for help. He ran to the point, got the boat, and drove it around. At that point, they already had the radio and said, "Hey, there's someone in struggle, and they think someone drowned at the point at the front dock." So I was already in the motorboat on the way in. Jumped out of the back of the motorboat. Bob Smith was with me, and I started CPR on this guy, and unsuccessful.
Mm.
That was it, And so the Lord took him home. 55-year-old minister, and
Wow.
they think he might have had a heart attack underwater, not breathing. So that was an incident. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously leaves a real impression on. Yeah. That's
Never forget it. Yep.
hard to. Ugh.
Yep.
Wow. I want to follow up with you, Jim, about your family coming to camp. I mean, was that a salvation part of their salvation story? Your salvation story?
Yes, sure it was. So my sister, we had attended a Methodist church off and on
Yeah.
before coming up, but all summer long, we're just up in the mountains. So we would go to the different churches, but once we started hearing the music at Camp of the Woods, we started going here regularly. And so
Okay.
there they heard the gospel. My sister joined the staff in '64, and she became a believer. My sister
Okay.
Dorian, and
She
she
was the
was
first
with
one?
your uncle, Doug Schoen. Okay,
Mm.
so they were in Carolyn. Okay, your aunt. So
Mhm.
they were in the music department together, and
Okay.
then I came in '66, and I had heard the gospel at the on as a basketball player, and Raymond Berry, he he shared how he had come to know the Lord because his roommate, Don Shinnick. So Don Shinnick was a defensive man in Raymond's end offense, and they were roommates. And he shared about the gospel and said he needed Jesus. And then Don Shinnick explained it to him, and Raymond Berry accepted the Lord. Then Raymond came and shared it at basketball clinic because
Wow.
he was a good friend of Don of Norm Sanju, and actually had been in Norm's wedding just briefly before that. So Norm was a newlywed, and so anyway, he shared the gospel, and so I started talking to my sister once I joined staff, and I said to her, this is making sense. I think I want to accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior. And right there on the hillside, right as you go up the dining hall hill, right next to where Burkle is now, right between Burkle and where the infirmary is, I just sitting on the hillside. That's where I prayed to accept Christ.
Oh man,
That was my background.
that's powerful,
That's,
Jim.
that's amazing because you can go right back there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you walk by it every day when you go up to the dining
It's
hall to when you work.
Wow, that's
so
powerful.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember when I think I was a camper at clinic, and I eventually was on staff where I tore my knee up, and you fixed it and told me everything was going to be okay, and you were right. But I remember Norm brought Raymond Berry up, and he almost like kind of matter of fact, he's like, "Yeah, Raymond Berry, he's a Hall of Fame wide receiver from the Baltimore Colts. Like, he wasn't just he was a one of the all-time great receivers." And the fact
Yep.
that a pivotal point in his life, his salvation happened at camp is just really interesting to hear how you were connected and he was connected with you and Jim and Carol. Like, you talking about Jim, coming to basketball clinic but you came from a family of athletes too. I mean,
Pete,
Pete
especially.
and Dave, and what is, I'm sorry, I should know this, but the ages of you and Pete and Dave, what is
What's the
that?
order?
Yeah, what's the order?
I'm the oldest
Okay.
And best looking.
Yep. Hey, there's no
out
question
of three
about
brothers. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
that.
I'm 73. My brother John is 71.
Okay.
He works at Liberty doing renovations,
All
Liberty
right.
College University.
Okay.
And because he works there, 5 of his kids have gone there tuition free,
Oh,
which
wow.
is amazing.
All right. Well, Tom
Okay.
is
And then
calling us
there's
from
Pete.
Virginia here, so
Yeah.
He
right.
is 68.
Okay.
He's a pastor of an evangelical free church in Absecon, New Jersey. He's been there over 33 years. And then my brother Dave works at that other camp. No, Camp Spofford.
That's
Wonderful Christian camp
yeah,
in Spofford, New Hampshire.
beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, all for the
And
same.
he's 10 years younger than me.
Okay. All
63.
right. I
All
knew
for the honor and glory of God.
absolutely, and I knew
All
Pete
for the honor of Christ.
well, and Dave. I don't know that I ever knew John. Maybe it was just an age.
Well, you know what? Pete worked at camp and Dave worked at Camp of the
Yeah,
Woods, both,
yeah.
but never John.
Okay, but that explains it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But
Also
you were on
interesting.
the basketball team with Dave.
Yes, yes. Did you see the episode with Steve Nelson? I think I sent you. I have a
That's
question
right.
about
That's
that
right.
later.
And we
And
saw that.
Dave was
And
in
my
the-
brother Pete played with Jack Zimmerman.
Oh, okay.
Now on the board. Now the chairman.
Oh, listen,
And they were roommates up there.
okay.
Wow.
This as if this episode couldn't get any better. Tom, go ahead with what you were going to ask, but I'm going to send you a picture in the meantime, which in a few minutes I'm going to share about what
Okay.
we just talked about. And I'm all engaged except for sending you this picture. So yeah, because
All right.
it's too good.
That's fine. When you send it, let me know and I'll add it into the
Nope.
slides.
Tom, it doesn't sound like we're getting through your question list very well. I'm sorry.
Hey.
I apologize.
Are we taking
Miss-
too long?
No.
Mrs. No. Mrs. Purdy's going to be so disappointed.
Okay.
No, we're just getting started.
No. We're just getting started. Yeah, we'll have you as long as you guys will stay with us.